Hey, it's Dave. Welcome back to my channel. So today is Sunday. I got Columbo right here on my TV. And that's Lindsay Krause. I must have seen this one 100 times. But anyways, lots of things going on this week. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the shape of music today. And, it's funny. I teach, a reasonable amount of adults. And I teach a few kids. And the kids are funny. There's one I teach who's really into 90s rock, Green Day and everything else. A lot of, God, what's the name of that band? Candlebox and that type of stuff. And then I have a student, and he's 8 in second grade. And he's great. He makes me think, like, a lot of the kids today, there isn't music for them to listen to that's coming out that they're like drawn to play an instrument. This kid that I teach, Mikey, he plays guitar. I'll even play like a Scorpions lick. I was working on No One Like You, and I was just playing the lick in front of him, and he goes, "What's that? That sounds really cool." And he always wants to learn AC/DC, and we're doing so much stuff. A lot of AC/DC. We've done TNT. We're now getting into Back in Black. And so I thought it would be cool if I took a little film clip of him just to show you, like, this is what kids today, what they're into guitar and what they're listening to. And I thought it'd be cool to show. So I'm going to show you a little clip of that. How do you remember the E chord?
The E one?
Yeah. How do you remember it, though?
I do thank you, good night.
Show me. What do you mean?
Thank you, good night.
We'll see you in 2019.
I'll see you in 2019.
That's right. That's the only way you can remember the E chord. Because the E minor you remember. All right, so what are we working on today?
Today we're working on Black in Black.
Who does that song?
AC/DC.
All right. Now, how old are you?
8 and almost in a half.
Future rock star, right?
Uh-huh.
What other AC/DC song did we do?
TNT.
All right. Before we do TNT, tell me a little bit about what's your favorite cartoon that you asked me to watch today.
There's this movie called Scooby-Doo Kiss, a Rock and Roll Mystery. It's about, Kiss is actually a super force. Trying to save the world from this girl called the Crimson Witch. And it has a bunch of their songs in it, and it's awesome, and I really like it.
Awesome. I'm going to have to check it out. So actually, I'm glad I'm recording this video, because then I can go back and remind myself to watch this.
Editing it.
Exactly. I can go back and remember. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to watch that movie. Because, I like, this is Gene Simmons from Kiss. That's all we had. Anyways, what about, show me TNT.
Let me remember. Wait.
Anyways, the kid's great. He's a lot of fun, and if he keeps with it, he's going to be a great player. And it's just funny to me that these kids, he's really into Kiss because he's seen it on the Scooby-Doo Rock and Roll Mystery, which I still haven't seen that episode yet, and I have to. But it looks hilarious. But he loves Kiss for that. And I'll sit there and I always do my, my Gene, and he's always like, "Is that the demon?" I mean, it's hilarious. It's so great. And really into AC/DC. He's pieced together now that Jack Black in the movie School of Rock was basically imitating Angus Young with the school shorts. And when I started playing It's a Long Way to the Top If You Want to Rock and Roll, he's like, "That's from School of Rock." I'm like, so many AC/DC songs, but you associate this with the movie. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyways, I also did want to talk about, I had a gig last night, and a couple of friends came in, and we were talking about music and the understanding of music. So, do I think you have to read music? No, I don't think it's important. It's nice. As a rabbi once told me, he once said, sorry, that's a joke. Anyways, no, it's not that important. But what is important, that is the most important thing that I think that everybody needs to learn, is to know, if you know all the notes that are on your guitar. Because we were talking about how they see shapes and they think about things in shapes. And they were asking me if I do, and I said, well, if you mention a shape to me, I know what you're talking about, but I don't think about it in the shapes as I think about the individual notes. And I'll explain what I mean. If somebody says we're playing in the key of F sharp minor, automatically in my head, I'm assuming that F, C, and G are sharp. So any note I hit on the guitar is going to be natural except for F, C, and G, which are going to be sharp. And that's the 7 notes in the scale. And therefore, I would also know all the chords. You'd have A major, B minor, C sharp minor, D, E, F sharp minor, and a G sharp minor with a flat 5 or a G sharp diminished. The bottom line is I would know the 7 notes. It's important if you're playing bass or you're playing guitar, that you would understand, like, for instance, this happened to me last week. And this guy was a nice guy, but it's one of my pet peeves. So we're playing a song, and the song's in the key of B. Well, the key of B has 5 sharps, F, C, G, D, F, C, G, D, A. So there are 2 natural notes in that key, B and E. That being said, I show him he's watching my hand, and he's like, oh, is that an A flat? No. We're in the key of B. There are 5 sharps. There are no flats. We're not in a flat key. And that instantly tells me, as the player playing across from him, that he is playing completely in the dark and doesn't understand the fingerboard or how the scales or how the keys work and how the 7 notes work. And maybe that's a lot of people. And I don't know if it's a lot of people. But I don't care if you're 12 years old watching this or you're 60 years old watching this. It's never too late to learn something new. In fact, every day you should always strive to learn something new. We have a wealth of information out there with the internet, and everything is growing, that you can learn stuff and take on new careers and new things to excite you. You should learn your circle of fifths, and you should learn the key of C has no sharps and flats. G has 1. D has 2 sharps, that is. G has 1 sharp, D has 2 sharps, A has 3, E has 4, B has 5. And then going the other way with F has 1 flat, B flat has 2 flats, E flat has 3 flats, A flat has 4 flats. So you should know what those are. Let's say we're playing a song like Sweet Home Alabama, and the song is in the key of G. Even though we're centering on the D chord and it floats around D, all the key of G is telling you is that there's 1 sharp, and that's F. And that F sharp is in that D chord. So that when you get to the next chord, the C is natural, as it would be sharp in the key of D. Most people think they're playing in the key of D, but you're playing in the key of G in Sweet Home Alabama. The solo is in the key of G. That way, when you're soloing, even though you're centering on the D, and that's your tone that you want to hear land as the 1, the scale is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. 1 sharp. Now, some people are going to sit there and say, well, if we're playing in the key of G, but we're starting on D, that's Mixolydian. Yeah. But why call it that? Like, why now have to memorize 7 different things just to tell you what position you're on? Who cares what position you play in? You want to start on D? I could play the whole solo starting on the 3, which is the B, if I wanted to, and approach it from a minor position, but making sure that I never hit the C sharp. all I'm basically saying is I definitely think, and I'll go through this and I'll do a whole video on this week because I think it's important. Learn and memorize your circle of fifths and how you get there. And I'm going to show you a shortcut how to do it. When I was in high school, the teacher and I, we didn't see eye to eye, and he thought I was just a punk kid trying to raise questions and argue with him. And at the end of the day, that kind of drove me to dig deeper into it, and I still look at the music the way I do, and I still look at the way they teach classical, the way he taught it, as being incorrect and convoluted way of trying to teach people. So I will show you some of the tricks that I use to memorize this stuff, and that's going to be on the next video. For now, I just wanted to say hello, that I'm here. Wanted to talk just bring those two topics up, and I will see you on the next episode where we're going to talk about learning your keys. Very good.
Jimmy, can I talk to you now?
But you know you're a pisser.
Yeah.
You're a real pisser. You want to talk now?
Please.
Okay, let's talk. Let's get it over.
Okay.
Swear to God, I've known a bull buster like you my whole life.
Hey, who loves you more than I do, huh?
Guy.
I'd do anything for you.
Yeah, except to stop busting my balls. Come on, let's go up coffee.
Oh, you want to go to Dino or what? We'll go to Dino over there on the boulevard. Oh, good.
Which time?
Rockwood Boulevard. It's open 24 hours. They got Danish there? Yeah, they got everything. Oh, good. Yeah, let's pick up some Danish for Bell.
You're right on target. You're right on the money. Everything you said. You hit the nail right on the head with your comments, what you're saying today. You're 150% correct.